We need to stop and think before we do stupid shit. We need to stop and think before we say and do stupid shit. And like I said, the guy kept calling me Chief. 3 years. Called me Chief. He didn't care if it hurt my feelings. He didn't give a damn. I got to the point where when he called me Chief, I just go and do that. He going in the building. And by the time I go back into the building to start my job, I'm thinking, I need to fuck this guy up. I know Kung Fu. I should kick him in his chest. That won't change the fact that he called me Chief. It's been done. Now, I really didn't get too angry about it, because as time went on, more people kept calling me Chief. So for this young lady, if you're watching this treasure, and I hope you are, first thing you need to understand is that you very well may be mixed, because your mom's lighter than you. And 75% of black people in America today have a little bit of Native American blood in them, so calm down. 2, whatever you've gone through in your life, there are people who are going through just as much, if not more, and are in worse shape than you. Think about the people who are in foster care, who don't have a father or a mother, or a means of finding out their ethnic background or their past. Before you jump to conclusions, before you start calling all of us black people thieves and talking ignorant, or as you like to hear it, we talking ignorant. You need to know where everybody else has been through before you cast your stones. Your mom lied to you about your color. She lied to you about your father, and she was wrong on that. And the reason why I'm going to go ahead and say that is because my mom lied to me too. We never knew we weren't just black. We always thought we were black. So my family, my siblings, my sisters and them, they rarely acknowledge their Native American half. They rarely acknowledge their white half. In fact, I call my mom old white woman or premium blend because I took her to Scottsville and lost her in front of a bunch of white people because she blended right in. And then I lost her in CVS. My brother's baby's mama has lost her in a store somewhere before when she went in a crowd of white people. There's nothing wrong with being black. Let's get that out the way first. Now, I'll be the first to say, because I've said this a million times and I'll probably say it a million more. There's nothing wrong with being black until one black person fucks it up for us all. That's the person that you don't want to be. You don't want to be the black person who ruins it for me or my sisters or yourself or your brother because you want to go and do something stupid. White people don't have this issue. Asian people rarely have this issue. Asian people have probably the more well-behaved kids than blacks and whites. Let me explain before you guys start saying I'm hyping up the Asian card and shit. Because yes, Native Americans are Asian. But let me break it to you like this. When black kids go in the store and we look at the big wheels, we know that if we touch that big wheel, especially if it's already put together, then we're going to get our asses beat. Right then and there. Maybe not these days, but when I was growing up, we didn't jump on those balls, you know, the ones with the handles on it. You guys are probably too old or too young to remember that. I don't remember the name of them, but they came out before the Popples came out, which you guys are known as the Puffalops. I don't know what the fuck was the idiot behind that, but anyway. We didn't touch the big wheels. We didn't touch the scooters. We didn't touch the bikes. We didn't touch anything. White kids, when we would go in the store with them, they're all over everything. They're breaking the toys in. Not literally breaking them, but they're riding them up and down the aisles and shit. And the second that we even consider that as a thought, Mama hit this number. That you touch that fucking big wheel, or you will touch this belt, or a yardstick, or an extension cord, the back of a fucking shoe. Now, my Asian friends that I spoke to, I asked them, why are they so well behaved? And they told me that I'm going to tell you. It's not an ancient Chinese secret. I'm going to tell you the truth. Their parents tell them this. Don't shame the family. When you go out, You act like you know how to behave, and you pretend that you know what you're doing. Don't make me beat your ass in the store because they got their asses beat too. Because I literally asked my Asian friends when they were growing up, I said, did your parents, did they ever beat your ass? They said, fuck yeah. We get just as much ass whoopings as you black kids. We all both kind of giggled because we knew white kids really didn't get their ass beat unless they came from an abusive home. So we giggled because we knew white people, and it's like the white people we know probably never got ass whoopings because they pretty much were privileged. That's a story for a whole nother color. But for the Asian people I know and for the black people I know, we got our ass beat. We knew not to go into a store and start pulling shit off the rack and start playing with that shit because mom and dad won't go buy that shit, and we knew that if we touched it, we were gonna get touched. Nowadays things are a little different. Kids don't really grab shit off the racks anymore because all the shit they want to touch is fucking electronics. You know? What happened to the days of G.I. Joe and stuff? Oh, those guys don't exist. They exist when movies come out so that people like me will rush to the store and get them. You know, collectors. But kids don't play with that stuff. Kids don't go outside until that little hoverboard, whatever that bogus ass thing is, came out. But most kids, I want a PlayStation. I want a Game Boy. I want a Nintendo. I want an Xbox. I want a cell phone. You know, we didn't have none of that shit when I was growing up. All we had was G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony, Voltron, that kind of shit. Bionic 6. We had toys that came with cartoons. Now I know you're thinking, didn't the cartoons come first? Wrong. If you do a history, with the exception of Merry Melodies, who don't really have toys, they have stuffed animals. If you do a history of toys, most of the time, for a toy to sell, they've made cartoons. Sometimes the cartoons get the toys. GoBots and Transformers technically didn't really have names until they got cartoons. Okay? Go ahead and Google that. You can fact check it because I didn't know that shit. When I found it out, it fucked me up. Because yes, I used to love the GoBots. And yes, I love the Transformers. Now, other cartoons and toys are questionable. Centurions, Brave Star, stuff like that, they're questionable. He-Man, all those are questionable. And most of them are made basically by the same cartoon company. Hasbro had G.I. Joe and Transformers stuff. And then Marvel kind of stepped in and turned them into comic books as well. I'll make videos on that later. But for this young lady, I can't express the right words to tell her that she's gonna be fine. But she just stepped back, take a knee, and realize that, you know, one, you are a person of color. Period. When reality hits you, it's gonna fuck you up. Alright? Because it fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie about it. When reality hit me and I found out I was mixed, it fucked me up. Because, like I said, up until my mom came to school for whatever the hell I done, nobody knew my mom looked white. Nobody. And as a child, you see your mom. You don't see color. When you see your father, you see your father. You don't see skin color. You see them as people who brought you into this world, who nurtured you and took care of you, fed your ass, clothed your ass, and sent your ass off to get an education, which your school system has also failed you. When I learned that I was mixed, again, I didn't really know I was mixed until grade school. And by then I mean like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, those grades is when it really started coming into play. Because by the time you're 7, you ought to know who you are. You might not know what you are, but you know who you are. And I'm not meaning like gender-wise, I mean race-wise. Up until the race war happened, I just thought I was black, blessed with curly hair. You know, we thanked God for our blessings every day. We didn't go in church and pray that we would never see white people. We didn't go to church and pray that we would never see black people or anybody else of any other color or race. We went to church and we prayed that God would forgive us for our sins, and then we'd go back and cause all kinds of fucking trouble until next Sunday, and then go back to church to forgive us for our sins again. And if I fell asleep in church, I got an ass beating. But anyway, that is a story for another day too. Whatever this young lady's problem is, it seemed like it's more self-hatred. Eventually, if you watch all these clips, she had a discussion with a black therapist. She was so rude, man. I mean, she was so rude to this young black therapist lady, and she refused to get help. I haven't seen the whole video. I've only seen clips, and I'm still trying to find the video. But she only, she really only seen like she didn't really want to like commit to getting help, you know. And her family, her brother, he was in tears. Her mother was in tears, and they were afraid that she would be like a white supremacist person or a KKK, and they did touch on that. Like I said, I've only seen clips of the damn thing. I haven't seen the whole episode. I'm still struggling to find the whole episode because I don't know shit about computers. And you know, it kind of disturbed me that this was like a thing. And now I'll be honest, I grew up knowing people like her. I knew people like her. I knew people who were black and didn't think they were black, and didn't act black and talked all proper and stuff. And they also came from good neighborhoods. They did not live in the projects like I lived in. And now let me flip the script, because I knew people who were mixed, who didn't accept their black side because they were so light that they could pass for white, so they never told people they were mixed. Y'all know who you are. But again, I knew white people who lived in the projects with me. Y'all know who you are too. We're buddies. Bionic Elbow. No, I'm not going to shoot out his name. I'll give you his initials though. PM. Anyway, Mr. Miller. I knew white people who had it just as bad as we had it. Which is why my family was raised to be people and see people as people and not their ethnic backgrounds or their color. And done pretty well so far in my 45 years of age. You know, I go out my way to not be racist, even when racist remarks are aimed at me. It is a horrible road that racist people live on. And that will be my final video. So, be seeing ya in the next video.